Okay, so today I'm going to be reading this. As ever, it'll be 10 pages at a time. This is the front cover, and the tagline says, Shelley's crew find themselves in a place they vowed never to return to. Some promises shouldn't be broken. Right, here we go. From the Part Archives comes To the Bidder Goes the Moon, Part 7, follow us to the start. Out in the vast darkness of the universe, a worn and tired poorship travels, possibly further than any other poorship has travelled before. On board are 4 separate personalities and their prisoner, hoping to mine their captive's mind for information. The ship wanders aimlessly until the vital words they are listening for are spoken. I've told you countless times before, I don't know where p.a.w lives. Wrong again. And it's not countless times, it's 1,294 times. How do you know that? You're a robot, sure, but probes aren't meant to be that clever. How clever do you have to be to count? Ain't nothing wrong with my memory. Just tell us what we want to know. We don't get any pleasure out of doing this. Well, he might, but I definitely don't, as I'm just an animated piece of metal and plastic. You want to be left with the use of at least one of your eyes, don't you? As I keep telling you, we lab workers are genetically engineered ourselves. It's not like we were hired by the man. We were created by him. Do you really think he'd leave his address with creatures who are a burden on his profit margin? It's not like we send him gifts on his birthday. We're created to work in his labs to create more beings for him to control and order. I myself was born in a lab, but I turned out to be a bit defective, so I was given a job in security instead, in one of his trap labs. Looks like you're not too good at that either. We don't get paid for our expertise, and the only communication we have with p.a.w is when he wants a new life form designed and birthed. But the message has passed through so many underling channels, it'll be impossible to trace. Don't get paid, huh? So why don't you mutiny? What for? All we know and ever do is lab work. We'd be lost anywhere else, and p.a.w has the best labs in the galaxy. We'd be fools to put our current situation in jeopardy. Besides, if we did mutiny, p.a.w would subdue us, fit us with a killer instinct, and then send us out as his soldiers to fight side by side with his chew-ups and such like. No, it's a lot safer to be in a lab. Looks like this really is a dead end after all. I know, I knew it days ago, actually, but it's been fun to get a little payback for the beating we took, and for all the lives of my fellow Yeeples that p.a.w slew. Success, guys. I finally finished my mind drainer. We'll get the information we want out of him, whether he cooperates or not. Too late, pal. He doesn't know anything. It's just as well. I wasn't entirely sure it would work or not. Wait a minute. Your mind drainer looks very familiar. Where did you get the parts to make it? I, sort of raided your spare parts drawer. Great. So what am I supposed to do when I break down? Take your mind off it by admiring your new mind drainer. Hey, it does work after all, see? The 3/4 of this ship crew go to join the remaining quarter. Where have you lot been? Flying the ship is boring. I need someone to talk to. Twice I've toyed with the idea of giving the co-pilot computer a personality, like I did with Earth. Do it! You'd have to call him CC though, so then at least there would be someone on board with a name stupider than mine. We're here now, and I'm afraid it's bad news. Our prisoner doesn't know where p.a.w is, so his evasion of us looks set to continue. Doesn't know her, then what use is he to us? He's taking up space, food and oxygen. I know I promised we'd sell him on, pal, to help with your bid, but I doubt we'd get anything for him in his current battered state. Throw him out into space. What? Shelley? Isn't that a little extreme? Especially for someone who flew out of her way to avoid hitting a meteor because the sensors showed it had one-celled organisms living on it. Alright, keep him. Just don't come crying to me when the rations run out and you're down to your last breath of oxygen. My conscience is beginning to clear. How about yours? And so the threesome of interrogators turn into executioners as they lead their unfortunate prisoner to the car bay. Believe us, if you've got anything to say, now's definitely the time. This is your last chance. I suppose I'm going to have to prove my ignorance the hard way. This may seem harsh, but in the long run, you'll be better off. We're impossible people to live with. The lab worker is placed on the small hatch in the bay. The crew members leave the room and watch through a monitor as they activate the hatchway. Sucking the creature immediately out into the frosty space. Maybe we should have made more of a ceremony out of this. I now know of some rations that have just become free to cater it. Okay, leave it there. Carry this on in part 2. We'll see you all in that one.